Chickenpox is an illness our ancestors were exposed to through colonization. Once it came, it spread quickly. To protect our peoples, our ancestors applied the tools and knowledge they had. It is because of them that our communities survived and continue to thrive today. Today, in addition to the powerful healing and wellness practices our ancestors used, we have vaccines. Part of making sure our kids are healthy includes learning about vaccines and, if possible, learning about our traditional knowledge and applying both. This video is about chickenpox and the varicella vaccine. It was created by a team of native health providers and experts. It addresses the questions: is the varicella vaccine necessary? Is it safe? How does it work? And if you choose to vaccinate your child, what can you expect? To answer the first question, is the vaccine necessary? We need to first talk about chickenpox.
Chickenpox, also known as varicella, is a virus that usually causes a fever, headache, sore throat, stomach ache, and an itchy rash. The rash usually starts on the belly or back and face. Then it spreads almost everywhere else on the body. The rash often begins with small red bumps that look like pimples or insect bites. The small bumps develop into blisters that are filled with clear fluid. Over time, the blisters break and leave open sores, which finally crust over and become dry brown scabs.
Chickenpox spread easily. You can breathe in the virus after someone with chickenpox scratches their blisters, which release the virus into the air. Chickenpox can also spread when someone with the virus coughs, sneezes, speaks, sings, or breathes. Finally, chickenpox can spread through objects, like clothing someone with the virus touches, sneezes, or coughs on. It can enter your body when you touch these objects.
Before chickenpox vaccines were regularly given in the U.S., more than 4 million people got sick with the disease each year. About 12,000 people got hospitalized and 125 died. And half of those deaths were children.
There is no way to know for sure how your child will respond to getting sick with chickenpox. That's why it's important to make sure they get vaccinated. This is true even if your child is healthy and you live a more traditional lifestyle. Most children who get 2 varicella vaccines will be protected for life. Plus, if your child gets vaccinated and happens to get chickenpox, the symptoms they experience will likely be very mild. For example, they may just get a few or no blisters, and if they have a fever, it will likely be low.
Also, when your child gets the varicella vaccine, they are much less likely to get sick and spread illness to other people in your community, some of whom may be more vulnerable to getting hospitalized or even dying if they get sick, like elders, babies too young to get vaccinated, and people with certain medical conditions.
Something else to keep in mind is that the chickenpox vaccine actually protects your child from 2 illnesses. If this sounds confusing, let me explain. If a child gets sick with chickenpox, they are more likely to get a painful skin rash called shingles later in life. The reason for this is that when someone gets sick with chickenpox, the virus that causes the illness stays asleep in their bodies for the rest of their life. When the virus wakes up, it results in shingles. Fortunately, kids who are vaccinated against chickenpox are much less likely to develop shingles when they get older.
Okay, to summarize, is the vaccine necessary? Yes. The varicella vaccine is necessary. It helps protect your child from 2 serious diseases. It also makes it less likely they will spread illness to others in your community. But the next natural question is it safe? Since chickenpox can make some kids seriously sick, we have been regularly vaccinated against it in the U.S. since 1995. Since it was approved, millions of Americans have safely received the chickenpox vaccine. This includes American Indian and Alaska Natives. Another reason we know that the vaccine is safe for everyone is that tribes and countless Native people have volunteered to participate in testing the vaccine. This helps make sure that the shots are safe for everyone, including our kids. If you feel at all nervous about vaccinating your child, keep in mind that serious reactions to vaccines, like the chickenpox vaccine, are extremely rare.
Not only are they safe, but varicella vaccines are also effective. 2 varicella vaccines are about 90% effective at preventing chickenpox.
Okay, so we know the chickenpox vaccine is necessary and it's safe and effective, but now onto our third question. How exactly does a vaccine work?
Within our bodies, each of us has warrior cells, also called antibodies, that stand guard and attack diseases. Vaccines, like the varicella vaccine, help our warrior cells see and fight disease. For example, when we get the varicella vaccine, the ingredients in the vaccine tell our warrior cells how to recognize and fight chickenpox. That is why if your child gets a varicella vaccine, they are much less likely to get sick with the disease. And if your child happens to get sick, having protection from the vaccine means that instead of getting seriously ill and possibly needing to be hospitalized, your child's symptoms will likely be mild, if they have any symptoms at all.
Since kids in the US have been regularly getting vaccinated against chickenpox, there has been a 98% decrease in kids getting sick with the illness. So, what can you expect if you choose to vaccinate your child?
You can expect that after getting the chickenpox vaccine, your child might experience mild side effects like pain, redness, itching, or swelling where they got the vaccine. They might also get a mild rash or fever. If it helps, try to remember that mild side effects are actually a good sign that your child's body is preparing to protect them. Mild vaccine side effects go away relatively quickly, whereas the serious impacts of diseases like chickenpox can last a lifetime. Don't have regrets. The pros of having the chickenpox vaccine far outweigh the cons.
To help with any mild side effects, check with your doctor to see if you can give either acetaminophen or ibuprofen for pain or fever. Also, a warm damp cloth or a heating pad where your child received the vaccine often helps. Keep in mind that varicella vaccine can be either given as a single varicella vaccine or it can be given as a combination MMRV vaccine. The MMRV is a combination vaccine that protects against 4 dangerous diseases: measles, mumps, rubella, and chickenpox. Consider talking with your child's health provider about getting the chickenpox vaccine. There are certain medical conditions, like cancer, that make your child ineligible to get the vaccine.
Often, we recommend getting multiple childhood vaccines at the same visit. Extensive evidence shows that getting several vaccines at the same time is safe and effective for children. Plus, getting multiple vaccines at once reduces the number of clinic visits for you and your family. Also, consider this. If your child only gets one vaccine at a time, they will likely have several instances of mild vaccine side effects, like fever and muscle aches. But if they receive several vaccines at once, they might only feel uncomfortable for a few days.
Finally, focus on other ways to keep your child healthy and strong, like getting enough sleep, moving their bodies, eating nutritious foods, and spending time in nature. Also, we know that kids who are connected to their cultures and communities tend to be happier and healthier. So, if possible, work to learn and reconnect with your nutritional practices and share those with your child. In conclusion, our takeaways are varicella vaccines needed?
Yes. The chickenpox vaccine is an effective way to protect your child from serious illness. It also protects from shingles later in life. Getting your child vaccinated makes it less likely that they will spread illness to others in your community that are more vulnerable, like elders, young babies, and people with certain medical conditions.
Are varicella vaccines safe?
Yes, we have been regularly giving kids chickenpox vaccines since the mid-90s. Like other vaccines, they went through a good testing process that included many native volunteers.
How does it work?
The varicella vaccine works by showing our warrior cells, or our antibodies, how to recognize and fight against chickenpox.
Finally, what should you expect if you choose to get your child vaccinated against chickenpox?
Expect some mild side effects like a mild rash and fever that will go away in a few days.
In the end, the benefits of getting vaccinated against chickenpox far outweighs the drawbacks. And making sure your child is up to date on their vaccines is part of ensuring you are doing what you can to keep them and others in your community safe and healthy. Don't have regrets about keeping your kids and others safe. If you have any additional questions, talk to your health provider or visit Native Boost at indiancountry.org/native-boost. Native Boost provides accurate information about childhood vaccines for Native people by Native people. For more accurate vaccine information, click on the next video in the series.